Hey everyone, and welcome. We're jumping right into a quick geographical review of one of Ghana's most incredible natural wonders, the Kintampo Waterfalls. So whether you're a geography student or just someone who loves amazing landscapes, you're in the right place. Let's get into it.
So first things first, let's talk about sheer scale. We're looking at a total drop of about 70 meters. Now to give you an idea of what that looks like, that's pretty much the height of a 20-story building. So yeah, this is no little cascade. This is a proper giant.
Okay, here's the plan. We're going to start by figuring out exactly where it is. Then, we'll break down its really cool three-stage structure. After that, we'll get into a bit of its history, and finally, we'll look at what it's become today, a major hub for tourism.
All right, first up, location. Let's pull out our virtual map and ask the big question. Where exactly in Ghana do we find this amazing force of nature? You'll find the Kintampo Waterfalls right in the Bono East Region of Ghana. And its central location is super important, you know. It puts the falls smack dab at a crossroads between the country's northern and southern areas.
So what creates this incredible waterfall? Well, it's all thanks to the Pumpum River. This is the river that carves its way right through the landscape, creating the whole spectacular scene.
And for all you geography students out there, this part is crucial. The Pumpum River is what's called the tributary. That just means it's a smaller river that flows into a much bigger one. And in this case, that bigger one is the Black Volta River, one of Ghana's most important river systems. It's a really great example of how a local feature connects to a massive watershed.
Now, remember that 70-meter drop we talked about? Well, it's not just one single straight-down plunge. It's actually more of a journey. So let's break this giant down and see how it works in 3 really distinct stages. But before we get to the bottom, you have to earn it. Visitors have to climb down 173 steps to get to the base of the falls. I mean, that number alone gives you a real feel for the scale and the kind of physical journey it takes to experience it up close.
You could say the waterfall kind of has a 3-part personality. It all starts with the upper cascade, which is beautiful with all these little rock pools and even a cave full of bats. Then the water flows through this middle section that's mostly hidden behind giant boulders, before the grand finale, the main plunge, where it all comes crashing down into a big pool that you can actually swim in.
You know, this landmark is way more than just water and rock. It's got a real story. Let's take a look at its journey through history, especially how its name tells us a lot about Ghana's own path to independence. So back in the colonial period, this place was known as Sanders Falls. But after Ghana gained its independence back in 1957, the name was reclaimed. It was changed to Kintampo Waterfalls. And this wasn't just a name change. It was an act of rooting the landmark firmly in its own local and national identity, stepping away from that colonial past.
This timeline really charts its evolution. I mean, it's been known to local people since way back in the 18th century, but it didn't become an official tourist site until 1992. And then, much more recently, in 2017, it got a major facelift with renovations to modernize the place and make it safer for visitors.
So we've talked geography, we've talked history, but what's it actually like to go there today? Let's dive into its modern role as this really vibrant center for tourism.
Today, Kintampo is a full-on, well-developed destination. If you go, you'll find modern stuff like a proper car park, a reception center, and even designated picnic areas. But the real highlight for a lot of people is the canopy walkway, which gives you these absolutely breathtaking views from way up in the treetops.
And its importance goes beyond just its beauty. The falls are actually a super important rest stop on the main route that connects key places in Ghana, like Kumasi, Tamale, and the famous Mole National Park. That makes it a real cornerstone of the whole regional tourism circuit. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this thought. We've traced a river to a waterfall, and we followed that waterfall story from its colonial past right into its modern identity. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What does the journey of a place like Kintampo Waterfalls tell us about that powerful link between a nation's geography and its very soul?